Ladies and gentlemen, this is Alex Schneider from 11th Inning Stretch here as the co-host and your main man.
Paul Epi. Alex, you are struggling in fantasy, I see, so far this season.
I like how you keep pointing that out. Thank you very much. You know, in my
Because
other league, I'm second. It's okay, though.
But the league
It's
I'm
okay.
in, you're last. It doesn't matter to me whether you're
Hey,
second in the.
private parts for the win. Just wait,
Okay,
you'll see. You'll see.
we'll see. We will see.
I'm gonna be the Atlanta Braves of our fantasy team.
No, you're the Atlanta Braves of the fantasy team. Anyway,
All right.
go ahead.
Just to kick it off with some league news, just to keep you guys updated on the whole Trevor Story thing. He's really cooled off. According to BaseballReference.com, he's batting .241 with 9 home runs, 15 RBIs, and 20 hits altogether.
Yeah, he just had to have. Sorry, I cannot speak today. It's been a long day, bad day. He's starting to get hot again. It looks like he had a home run last night, and I think he's been stringing together a couple of hits.
So he's had some triples. I know that he's had a couple triples. His slugging is still is .651. I mean, it's nothing super special.
But you're hitting in
yeah,
Coors Field, so I mean that can't hurt your prospects. I mean, we all know what that ballpark does to hitters and pitchers.
Yeah.
Much like your Trevor Story fascination, I have a rather weird fascination with how bad the Atlanta Braves are. And as of today, Thursday? Yeah. As of 8:30 on Thursday night, they're actually leading the Red Sox 5-2 in the top of the 7th. So they are winning, but they're still 4-17 on the season. And believe it or not, they actually hit their 3rd home run of the season last night as a team. So think about it. Steven Piscotty has as many home runs as the entire Atlanta Braves team does. And we've talked about it time and time again so far, but gosh, they are a bad team.
To be completely honest, Steven Piscotty has probably more talent than the entire Braves team. Just saying.
Would you say he has more talent than Freddie Freeman?
No, just because in the major leagues he doesn't have a track record.
Fair
and
enough.
They're playing 2 different positions. You really can't compare outfield to infield.
Yeah.
Now, if he was playing infield, even if he was playing a different position on the infield, you could compare. But playing outfield to infield, you can't compare that at all.
I want to go back to this fantasy discussion real quick. But I feel like a guy like Freeman doesn't have any sort of value because he can hit pretty well when he's healthy. He has clear fantasy value, but why pitch to him? I mean, he's the only guy on the Braves that can somewhat competently hit. So I feel like for fantasy value-wise, he doesn't have much to him because there's no one hitting around him.
Well, and I feel like that's why he's not performing at the level he's used to. He doesn't have someone that's there to help him. I mean, we all know what Freddie Freeman is capable of doing. I mean, everybody has seen it. 20, 25 home runs each year with a possible chance of 30. He could, on a good team, he could probably drive in 100. He's just on a really bad team, and it's not helping him at all.
Do you think the Braves should trade him? Because I think they should.
Yeah, the problem is finding someone who needs a first baseman, because usually first base is usually one of those positions that everybody has one.
Yeah.
So it'd be really hard to find somebody who absolutely needs a first baseman.
Because I just feel like going into that stadium, that new stadium, I guess, which opens in 2017 or 2018, something like that, one of those 2 years.
Yeah.
Man, if you're going to press the reset button, get rid of everybody. And that means all the good players. And Freddie Freeman is the only good player left. And so I say just get rid of them, start new. You're going into a beautiful new stadium. Man, just sell everyone. That's my opinion.
Yeah. And then one more quick thing.
Go ahead.
No, you're fine.
I was going to say, they've got that Dansby Swanson from the Diamondbacks trade. Start with him. I mean, he's the number 1 overall player picked last season, so he's good. So just start with him. Just build around him. But anyway, that's my final call on the Braves.
I would say for him too is you definitely don't want to trade him because then he can go on a world spin just down just because
Sure.
he would be like, oh, I've been traded twice and haven't played a game in the majors. What's wrong?
Yeah, you
So I
probably
would
screw
definitely,
with the psyche a little bit.
exactly. So I would definitely play with him. And then one more quick thing with the league news is, if you haven't heard, another player goes down to a game suspension of PEDs, and that's Chris Colabello of the Blue Jays. I honestly didn't see it coming, but I kind of want to get into a discussion about that in a little while. He did an interview that didn't really sit well with me at all.
And the thing is about him is, I'm looking up his stats right now, and I'll say more later on. But he hasn't had that great of a major league career so far. But anyway, we'll get into it.
Yeah.
Keep going.
And then just to keep the fantasy thing going, my fantasy player, and I just want to get your initial response. I'd like to see your facial response, but got to keep the cameras off. But would be my player's Nick Markakis, actually. Just because
I'm not a fan, but that's just me.
Just because he's a doubles and base hits machine, and he can score runs if possible. But
I have his stats pulled up right now. We do OBP because OBP is better than batting average, in my opinion.
Yeah,
and he does have a 391 OBP, which is actually really fantastic. He has 16 RBIs, which is also a lot considering, he plays for the Braves.
Yeah.
But the thing is with him is that you get 0 power and you get 0 speed. So it's just a matter of if you value OBP and RBIs more, or home runs and stolen bases and maybe some runs.
The only thing I look at with that is, look at the Cardinals last year. They as a team, didn't hit a lot of home runs.
Right.
And the thing is, and here's the thing with the Braves, though, is that their offense doesn't have trouble scoring runs. It's the fact that their defense and their pitching is really bad.
So bad, yeah.
It's really, really bad. So their hitting-wise isn't that bad, but offensively it's not. They can score runs. It's just they give them up. When they score them, they give them right back.
Yeah, I wouldn't call Julio Teheran much of an ace. He's shown some good flashes in the past, but the past 2 seasons he's been pretty terrible. They don't have much of a pitching staff. But yeah, like you said, they can – I'm not going to say that they can hit well, but they're not as inept offensively as they are pitching-wise. And Nick Markakis, you actually surprised me because looking up his stats, he's not as terrible as I thought he was, because that 391 OBP is really good. But yeah, that's an interesting pick. For mine, I have Rick Porcello, the pitcher for the Red Sox. He's been going on a tear his past couple starts. Let's see, he has a 3.51 ERA, 0.94 WHIP, 30 strikeouts through 25 innings pitched. And he's been picked up in, 31% of Yahoo leagues the past day. So he's been scalding hot. So yeah, if you need a pitcher, to bolster your staff a little bit on the back end, probably not a bad idea. So yeah, that's.
I think
Go ahead.
I think his problem last year was that he was supposed to be the ace, and Rick Porcello's never been an ace anywhere he's at.
Yeah. Well, the Red Sox didn't have an ace last season.
Exactly, they had a lot of 2s and 3s, but now that they have David Price, you have David Price as your 1, Clay Buchholz as your 2, and then you have Rick Porcello as your 3, and that's where he needs to be. Nothing to take away from Rick Porcello, but he's just not your dominant ace.
He's not a one-starter.
He's not. Right. Exactly, he's not the guy. If I have 1 game to play, that I'm giving Rick Porcello the ball. I don't feel comfortable with that.
No, I don't either, and I think. Yeah, like you said, the last season there was a lot more burden on him because the Red Sox pitching wasn't that great. So more pressure, not as great results. But this season he seems to be doing pretty well, and good for him because he'll be on my team here pretty soon, hopefully, unless you go pick him up.
I might do it just to mess with you.
If you really want to, you have all the power to you, but please remember that you would not make me very happy.
Benefits of being last.
Okay. Also, you made me angry because you picked up, I that guy from the Reds, that one pitcher from the Reds, Iglesias.
Iglesias, yeah.
Yeah. You picked him up, and I had him, but you were higher up in like the waiver order than I was. I'm like, man, you got to be kidding me.
Yep. When we tried to
But
make that trade the other day, that's who I was waiting on.
I mean, I don't want to rant about our fantasy league, but man, you did not make me very happy. I will say that.
Okay, and then this is usually where we get into Cardinal stuff, but both of us kind of have a discussion topic. We'll get to Cardinal stuff.
No, let's go on the Cardinals real quick. Might as well. I mean, the past couple.
Okay,
the past week, I don't have much to say.
Yeah, exactly. There's not that much to say. I mean, basically, Wainwright's got his first win. Aledmus Diaz is hot. They're winning ball games. You know, that's what they should be doing. Defense is looking a little bit better. Not to speculate, but Colton Long is supposed to be out with a flu. I don't know if that's true. I just feel like it's a longer non-DL stint, basically.
Yeah.
Trying to clear his head. I don't know if he has the flu. That's just, I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to cause speculation and call the Cardinals a lie, but if it was up to me, that's probably what I would do. He needs a little time to think.
No, yeah, you're right. There's nothing really else to say. The sooner he gets better, the better off the Cardinals are because they signed him to that massive contract. So I don't want to put too much pressure on him, but the Cardinals have put a lot of money in a lot of interest into him. You know, he doesn't need to hit 30 home runs a year. He just needs to get on base and be better defensively, and he'll be fine. But I feel like he thinks too much.
He does. He's got. They said that he dwells on a lot of things, and I honestly feel like that massive contract is putting a little bit more pressure on him than what he needs.
I understand. I mean, I overthink about things all the time. But I mean, granted, I'm not a major league player, so I shouldn't be talking. But I just feel like he thinks too much, and he needs to clear his head, like you said.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, me and my girlfriend actually helps me out a lot when it comes to softball when we're at home, and I thank her for that. But we were just outside today, actually, and I got these little training balls, and we were just throwing those around, and I think I hit my last round. I think I hit 2 or 3 nice and solid, and it kind of bugged me. You know, I think about that way too much, and it hurts me defense and offensively, you know, and I have the same problem. Not that I'm on the same level as Cole Wong, obviously, but it definitely plays a part in your performance, no doubt.
I at least this D-back series, I'll admit I had not watched that much because of exams. School is winding down and exams are winding up, unfortunately. So, I mean, you know the feeling. But the first 3 games of the Diamondback series, I had on the radio a little bit because the TV is just too distracting for me. So I was able to follow it a little bit, but it just seems to me like the Cardinals' offense has really exploded, obviously. Even the first game that they lost, I think it was 12-7 or something, 11-7. They still scored 7 runs or 8 runs or whatever it was. But their first test, or not first test, but I guess third test, is going to come against the Nationals this weekend. And the Nationals have, I guess, the second best record in the National League behind the Cubs or somewhere around there. But they're throwing 3 guys at us, Joe Ross, Strasburg, and Scherzer, who can pitch really well. So it'll be interesting to see if the Cardinals can break the streak of sucking against good pitchers.
The thing is, though, is honestly, so the reason that there's those 3 guys, I know for 2 for sure. I haven't watched Joe Ross. I don't know too much about him, but Strasburg and Scherzer depend a lot on their fastball location.
Strasburg, especially, yep. Yeah,
so they usually will probably end up throwing that first, their fastball. So if the Cardinals can get on a, if they can realize that that's going to happen and hit that first pitch fastball, I think things are going to go really well. Now it depends, you can say that and they may not do it, but that's what that's what it's going to take, obviously, to get things done. But yeah, like you said, it's definitely going to be a test. It's going to be fun to watch too.
Who did the Cardinals have after the Nationals? I should have it pulled up, but I don't.
I think it's the Phillies. I believe it's the Phillies.
Surprisingly, the Phillies have performed above expectations, given how bad they are too.
Ryan Howard's lost a lot of weight, so he's back to almost his old form, which is really nice to see. Michael Franco, he's just a dominant third baseman. And then you have Aaron Nola, who's leading your staff right now from LSU. If you guys aren't LSU fans out there, I am. But he's from, young stud. I play MLB The Show, and I just bought him for that on my Diamond Dynasty, so he's now on my staff. But they have a lot of young talent minus Howard, which is weird to say about the Phillies because for a long time they had a lot of old talent, and that was the problem with them. But now they're getting some of that young talent in, which is nice to see.
It's finally starting to come up through the system too, which is good because I always thought it was kind of fun when the Phillies were good. They have some interesting fans, and they pack the ballpark every night for a number of years. I think it's kind of fun to see the Phillies be good, but it'll be a couple years before they're there again. But it was always fun to watch them.
It's definitely fun for baseball when every team is clicking because it makes the race a lot more fun.
Exactly. Right.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say you had mentioned Chris Colabello and his suspension.
Yeah.
Earlier on.
So if you guys haven't heard, the first player this season to go down with the PED, there's usually a couple a season, but Chris Colabello from the Blue Jays is the first one to go. Almost a post. He was basically one of their postseason heroes last year. He did an interview, and you hear a lot of guys, and I understand, if you take steroids, I understand sometimes you may not want to come out right away and say, yeah, I did it, but what I hate hearing from those guys is what he said was he didn't know how whatever that was tested positive for, he said he didn't know how it got in his body.
I'm going to play devil's advocate with you for a second. I heard this story. It was either early on in the season or spring training or right before the season started a couple weeks ago. And Chris Davis takes this ADD medicine, but it's actually banned by Major League Baseball. But he needs it to perform because he has ADD. It's kind of hard to play baseball if you have ADD. But it was banned by baseball, but they actually approved it now. But he did not know that it was banned because to him, it's just a medicine he takes every day. Is this the case for everybody? Of course not. Chris Colabello, I find him hard to believe. But this type of thing is not unprecedented at the same time.
Yeah, and the thing is too, for the Chris Davis thing, the only thing that was bad about it was that he didn't ask permission. Every other time, I saw it too, but every other time he had to take it, he always had to ask permission to make sure it was okay. And he forgot to basically one time, which really killed his thing. I honestly feel like on that kind of instance, they might, if he makes a good career, which he probably won't make a Hall of Fame career, but he would be able to go in. But the thing with Chris Colabello is it wasn't a medicine. It was I don't know what he was doing with the pills. I don't know what it was, but it didn't sit well with me because you should know everything that goes into your body, especially if you're playing at that high level and you could be banned every time.
If you're a major league athlete at any sport, I agree. You should know what you're doing.
Exactly. You should know what's going in your body. You shouldn't. Exactly. You shouldn't be blaming that problem on somebody else. That's no one else's fault. That they didn't shove that down your throat. You took it, and I guess unbeknownst to you, took it and didn't know the risk. So I feel no sympathy for players like that.
No, I don't either, and I feel bad for the kids who look up to him as role models because that's basically what you're paid to do, to a certain extent. Is that people look up to you, especially kids look up to you, and for them to see that you're cheating, it's obviously not good for your image. There's nothing that needs to be said about that. But yeah, it's deplorable, and it's what, 80 games.
Yeah, it's an 80-game suspension.
You would think that he'd learn his lesson.
Yeah, like I said, it's not a huge deal to the normal fan, but like I said, I love the game of baseball. So it kind of rubs me raw when, people are, taking advantage of the system, even though they're making it to the highest level of basically their profession. It just kind of, I don't know, rubs me the wrong way. So, I mean, that's all I got on it. It just, you're at that kind of level. You should know what you're putting in your body at every single minute of every day. You shouldn't blame somebody else. It's someone else's fault that whatever you got tested positive for, is in there. That's all you. So, I mean, that's all I got on it.
No, yeah, that's all I have too. I guess we'll move on. I have one thing for you as well. Did you see Tyler Collins, this outfielder for the Tigers? He flipped off the fans as he was running back to the dugout.
Yes, I didn't see it. I heard about it.
Right. I don't know do you know the circumstances behind it? Like, did he make an error, or what was the reason that the fans booed him? Do you know?
What I got from my ESPN Score Center app was that he was trying to catch a fly ball, and he lost it in the lights, and the home crowd booed him.
Booed him. Okay.
Yeah,
Do you think
then he just turned around?
He did apologize later on. Do you think the Tigers fans should forgive him?
I mean, yeah. I mean, the thing is this guy, a lot of people don't understand, and this is with everyday life. People bust their butt to get where they're at, and then like Chris Colabello, you have cheaters who decide to take advantage. But for the most part, you have a lot of people who bust their butt every day to get to where they're at. They're going to make mistakes. It's going to happen. I'll tell you this. Do I get angry when Colton Wong, my favorite player on the Cardinals, do I get angry when he misses a ground ball? Yeah. But I understand what he's going through. Under a lot of pressure, you have thousands of fans watching you. It's going to happen. I feel like under the circumstances, you shouldn't be like, oh, he dropped it. He shouldn't have dropped it, blah, blah, blah. Because you weren't seeing what he was seeing. He might have actually lost it in the lights, but you won't know because you're not out there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just fans being ungrateful for what they have.
But at the same time, it's pretty unprofessional to him to.
Oh yeah. I'm not condoning his behavior at all. That was wrong. As a person who played baseball and I play softball now, you'll never see me flip off fans. I might, if I'm playing softball with my buddies, we might joke around and I might flip one of them off, but that's just for fun. But and that may not even happen. As a baseball player, the reason you wear a uniform is to look professional. That's what everybody does. So if you're going to turn around and flip off home fans, you should be at least benched, maybe even fined. I don't know if he got fined or benched. I do know he got sent down. But
he got sent down, and that may have been for his play too. I don't know how he was doing. I'm going to try and look it up here. It says on ESPN the last 7 days he's had 11 at-bats, 0 hits. In April he was 2 for 20. So, this might have been the straw that broke the camel's back because he's batting 220 or 2 for 20 in April. That's by no means good. So this is probably the thing that sent him down. But let's also be reminded that his play was not good.
Exactly. He was probably one of the utility guys, to be honest, with the outfield. So he's probably going to get sent down, and he's going to work on it, and he'll probably come back up, I would say, in September if he gets called back up. But, yeah, I'm not – like I said, by all means, if you guys rip me a new one saying I'm condoning him, that's not at all what I'm doing. He should definitely not be flipping off home fans. He shouldn't flip off any fans, to be honest with you. I understand he works hard. He's going to make mistakes. Do I show it right away? Not really, no. But, he's working hard just like everybody else in the world. They're working hard to get where they're going. I mean, obviously
he had to work hard to get where he was at. Let's not lose sight of that.
Exactly. And then, like me and you, we're in college right now. We have finals next week. I'm not looking forward to it. It's going to suck. My girlfriend, she busts her butt day after day working with old people, crazy old people. I almost had one kiss me the other day. It was crazy. But, that's a whole other story. It was really weird.
That should be that should be our feature next week. Give us your story about how some old person kissed you. Almost kissed you.
That's fine. That's fine. I can do that. But
okay, then next week, what happened when an old person trying to kiss Alex?
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, we'll do that. I'm okay with that.
That's fine with me.
All right, but yeah, she bless her butt. She's got 2 kids. That she loves to death, and I love them both to death too. And she's bless her butt. But no one, even for me, sometimes I take it for granted, not knowing it. That's what sports fans do. They take stuff for granted and not realize the journey that got them to where they are.
No, I completely agree.
And the next topic, real quick. I believe it's the last topic. I believe.
I don't have anything else. Yeah. Like I said, it's been sort of a slow week for me, and I'm sure it has been for you too, because exams have been biting us in the rear a bit. But by this time next week, at least for me, I'll be all done. So
yeah, I will too. I'm actually currently focused a lot on softball too, trying to get things ready. Getting before the season starts. To be honest, I play very, very competitively. So, but yeah, you came up to me. I don't know. You sent me a text earlier today, and then even talked to me about it before the show. But you were talking about shifts and my thoughts on them. And my thought on them is you got, what is it, 27 outs? I believe that's 9 times 3, right?
Yep.
You got 27 outs. And nowhere in the rule book does it say how you get those 27 outs. If you strike them out, you ground out, fly out, whatever. If you think shifting on a player is the best idea, then shift on it. But you have the other team has 27 outs to score more runs than you. So if they don't, then you win. I think shifts are a good thing. Do I really like them when I'm watching the game? No. But I would say, there's no rule in the rule book that says you can't shift. You got 27 outs is what the rules say, and however you get them is that's how you get them basically.
I brought this up to you because Joe Girardi, I had read an article today that he said if he was commissioner, he would ban shifting. And I've heard talk about it, the past couple of seasons and whatever. But I just feel like, man, say you're Mike Matheny and you don't like people shifting on Matt Adams. Well, Matt Adams needs to learn to put a ball out in left field or on the left side. If you don't like it, then tell your hitters to be able to actually hit the ball where there's not people, because that's the essence of baseball. Hitting the ball where there's not people and getting on base. If Matt Adams, how they put 4 guys on the right side of the infield because that's where he's going to hit it 99.9% of the time, it seems like. If you don't like that, well, Matt Adams needs to be able to hit a ball down the left field line. And hell, he can bunt down the left field line. It's not that hard. I mean, granted, I'm coming from the one who's hardly played competitive baseball past 5th grade. But I just feel like, man, if you can't put a ball down the left field line and you're getting paid millions of dollars, you have some bigger issues.
Yeah, the thing is the way I look at it is if you're not a pitcher, you're more of a professional hitter. A lot of people do care about their defense. I'm one of those people. I could care less about how I hit. I love playing defense. I think it's super fun. But you're a hitter. If you don't pitch, you're a hitter. And if you don't take the time to learn to hit the opposite way, that's no one's fault but your own. In high school, they made us learn how to hit the opposite way. We were told if the ball's on the outside part of the plate, you wait back a minute and then you hit it the other way. That shouldn't change being a major leaguer. You shouldn't throw a fit because they got you out shifting the ball.
Yeah, the defense did their job. Your job as a hitter or as an offensive coach or whatever is to beat the defense. And if the defense is giving you literally half the infield, you need to come up with a strategy to take what they're giving you.
Exactly. I couldn't agree more. I feel like, this game, it's like NFL football is becoming flag football. Baseball is becoming wiffle ball. It's a bunch of sissies who don't want to take the time to learn something that can help them. Hit the other way, take 20 swings in the cage, the other way. Or when you're taking BP, Don't pull the ball every time. Hit the opposite way, and you'll be able to do it in a game. I'm sick and tired of hearing people whine because, the defense is taking this hit away from this person, because that's exactly what they're supposed to do.
It's their job to get a competitive advantage any way they possibly can, and it's your job as a hitter to sort of counteract that. And man, I rail on Matt Adams because he's the one that I see that it happens to the most. Gosh, it's just put a ball down the left field line past the pitcher, and you are automatically on first base.
Exactly. And the thing is, too, is a lot of people don't want to learn. And then they're like, that's what happens with Matt Adams. And that's what's wrong with Matt Adams, is he sees that chip and he goes, well, not a free opening in right field. I guess got to put it in the seats. No, that's definitely the wrong approach to have.
Literally hit it to third base, and all of a sudden you're on first.
Exactly. I don't understand that at all. It bugs me to all hell. Yeah, that's all I got too. And there's, like I said, there's not a lot of Cardinal news going around. We can end it right here and it'll be all good. I appreciate you guys tuning in and listening to us and our sides. It makes it a lot of fun for us. I enjoy doing it. I didn't know if I would enjoy doing this at all, but I enjoy doing it every single time. I don't know how many fans we actually do have. I don't know. I know one of my buddies watches it, so thank you to him at least.
I'm going to get some people to promote us. We are working on it.
But whoever does watch this, I thank you guys a lot. It's definitely a work in progress. We're not professionals by any means. It takes us an hour just to get the video feed to work with this to actually work where we can hear each other. So, like I said, we're not pros, but it is fun. I don't know a lot of people who I can talk baseball with at this kind of level. Definitely not my girlfriend. She gets, she kind of rolls her eyes and gets.
I know the feeling. I know the feeling.
But, she's probably gonna kill me for that later. But, it's real nice. I'm having a blast. Of course, we got these new mics in, looking pretty official. So thank you guys a lot for tuning in. Keep up. Watch the podcast, watch the previews. Give us some feedback either in the comments or the videos. We're thinking about trying to do something if we get enough people, trying to get like a live feed going. Maybe one of these days we'll have like a show that's going to last like an hour. We'll just answer questions if we get enough people.
This is all assuming we get our connection set up right, because like you said, we are cavemen when it comes to setting up Google Hangouts.
Hey, speak for yourself. I'm definitely hotter than a caveman, but hey, it's whatever. But we'd like to do a show one time where you guys just ask us questions, but of course we need to have fans to do that. So tell your friends, tell your family, give us a click on us, give us a watch, just see we're just a bunch of goofballs having a fun time. A lot of the stuff is a lot of baseball seriousness related, but like next week I'm gonna apparently tell the story about how an old lady kissed me. I don't know how many baseball shows you'd hear that on, but hey, 11th Inning Stretch is your place to go if you want to talk about old people kissing young people, I guess. But like I said, thank you guys for watching. My name's Alex Schneider.
And I'm Paul Eppy.
Thank you guys so much, and have a good time, or have a good night, and hopefully I see you guys out at the Busch Stadium on Saturday.